What's up, everybody? Today on Clemente Collector, I am doing a dual VR with John, 3D 80s kid. Welcome, John.
Hey Theo, great to be here.
So Picker Jim, who is just an amazing member of this card community, he asked for channels to do a VR, shouting out channels that had less than 300 subscribers. I think he might have did this on purpose to cut me off. So which is fine, Jim. I get it. But what we're going to show you guys some of our favorite channels today that are under 300 subs, and that aren't getting enough love in the community. And I think you guys should subscribe to them, and give them a chance. So we're going to go through this together. But first, Jim wanted us to. Jim asked if we could give cards, for the cause. So basically, could you give 2 to 3 cards, and whenever he picks prizes, somebody's going to win all these cards. So John, you want to go first and share the cards that you want to give for the cause?
Sure, Theo. And one other thing that Jim didn't want to widely advertise is that he was very intentional with the end date of this VR being on June 11th. He didn't want to say it out loud to everybody, but the prize is meant to be a birthday present for me because June 11th is my birthday. So
Nice.
just want everybody to know that I really appreciate the cards you're sending in that I'll get for my birthday. So thank you. But on that note, I picked a couple cards from one of my favorite vintage sets, the one that started my whole vintage collecting. I got 60 Tops, Rocky Colavito. I've got another one with Elston Howard. And then I got a couple cards from the set that I went to next, where I started off with your guy as my first collection from this set. Roberto Clemente was my first 72 Tops card. But here I've got a Ted Williams with the manager, airbrushed hat there because he's wearing a Senator's hat that they had to airbrush since the team moved to Texas and became the Rangers. So.
Nice.
And then lastly, Hall of Famer Jim Kaat there.
Wow, you're gonna make me look bad here, man. I do have a signed rookie card that's numbered. I was gonna. Sorry, no, I'm not gonna get that. All right, so first off, I got a card from my childhood collection. Metal Universe 1997 was one of my favorite sets of all time. I don't know if you ever collected Metal Universe, John, but I got
that was after my time.
Okay, I got a nice Steve Nash here. A lot of the young kids today just know him as a coach, which is unfortunate. I got
he hasn't fared very well in that position.
1970 Lou Brock. And then I have a 1968 Tony Oliva, which is really a beauty.
Yeah, nice centering on that one, which a lot of those 68s are off center.
Yeah. So I'll be sending those your way, Jim. So this is the first time we're doing this. I'm going to present my screen, and we're going to go through the channels and give them shout outs. Because I think sometimes just showing the channel's name, I think it doesn't do it justice. So let's get this party started. All righty. All right, so I'm going to hide this. All right, so the first channel we're going to shout out, and by the way, guys, this is in no particular order, and we apologize if we leave somebody out. It's very hard to catch everybody. I'm sure somebody's going to slip through for us, but we tried our best here, guys. So the first one is Matt and Tyra's THA Card Story. They have a Saturday and Sunday show every week. Matt is just such a great part of the card community, just supporting everybody. It's so cool seeing a father and son team collecting Hank Aaron cards, and they have all their distractions. And then, if you ever go to their popular videos, actually, there's a really good CSG is failing video up. So just a heads up on that.
With a special guest star on there.
Exactly. And I heard that guest star went on with Tyrus recently too. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, it was great. I really love watching the father son, father daughter teams out there in our community. So it's always awesome to see them able to share this together. And you know, clearly, Tyrus is the star of the show. Uh, but Matt tries. He tries his best, but I don't
Yeah.
know, that episode a couple weeks ago, something was special about it. I can't put my finger on it, but
Yeah.
you know, but gotta love THA. Sorry, Tyrus, the card story.
The card story. Yep. Don't mess up the name.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they just got a Swift Meat card in, guys, in a full Twinkie box that Matt is talking about cutting the panel out. So please go on that video and tell him that that's blasphemy. All right, let's move on before I get too mad.
All right. Yeah. Up next, Joe, Four Soft Corners. He is a collector of cards, no matter what condition they're in. He loves them anyways. You know, any card can be a great card, even if it has four soft corners. Love the sets he's putting together. He's been working on the 53 tops for a while now and has gotten some of the really big cards. I think, is he targeting the mantle for national? Is that part
I
of his
think
plan,
I
or?
think after his latest video, I think that's the only card he has left. I would
Yeah.
assume that he was going to try to target it. I guess it just depends on what the price range is, maybe.
Yeah, he is a guy who likes them not in plastic cages, like Theo and I prefer. But
Yeah.
we still like him anyways. But and he's got great stories with the cards, very knowledgeable. It's a fun watch, him down there in his basement.
Yeah, definitely. I would just say, if you haven't given Joe a chance, maybe I know it's crazy to start with the most popular video, but he went recently to a card store and he bought a binder for $100. It is a really good video. I can see why it has 400 views already. But as you said, he loves all cards. He's not just collecting one set, the 53 sets. He's collecting a bunch of sets, and it's really cool as a non-set collector to just see a set collector in their mindset and things like that. It's really cool. So check him out. The next one is Rudog 21. He's got he's just starting off. He's got an average Clemente collection. Um,
Yeah.
he reaches out to me for advice sometimes, and I try to help him out. And no, I'm just messing. Rudog is kind of the godfather of Clemente for a lot of us out here. Just anytime we have a question about any Clemente card, Rudog, I give him a text and he gets right back to me. Lets me know what price that should sell for. Lets me know how hard it is to come by. He's very knowledgeable in everything Clemente. The other thing is he doesn't only collect Clemente, even though it might look like it's all Clemente. He actually does have other vintage. It's just his passion's Clemente, and he also has a nice Derek Jeter PC. And some guy gave him a care package in this video. His name's Clemente Collector. Anyways, the other thing is he does a lot of SGC reveals, and he also gets he gets his cards graded by different companies, which is kind of cool to see because a lot of us on here just see PSA and SGC. So check out Rudog. He should. It's criminal that he has 165 subscribers. It really is.
Oh yeah, when especially on your Club 21 collection there of folks,
Yeah.
I always find it entertaining when Mangini makes a statement of "I wish I had a card," and then of course he whipped it out right away.
Yeah.
But you expect John to just own everything, which he almost does.
Yeah.
But his Clemente collection, is unrivaled between the Club 21 folks there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least on YouTube, he appears to be the Clemente king. So, Great stuff. Oh yeah, up next, George, Concrete Buddy. He was just on our live stream yesterday. If you haven't caught it, we did a pre-war showcase, 1930 to 41. George has got a great and varied vintage collection. So he does, of course, do the baseball, but then he's got boxing, non-sports. He made a really cool Star Wars. He's got the whole original set of the 77 Star Wars release. I believe he's got a pretty decent Winston Churchill run of cards. So,
Oh wow.
as well as throwing out some of the like old wrestling. I think he's got some of the Bradman. What's it? The cricket player. Just all kinds of different things. I really liked his the Mother's Cookies one he did with the minor league or Mother's Cookies players on Mother's Day. So lots of great stuff from George. He's only been on YouTube 7 months, but he's been collecting for forever. So
yeah. George, I just got to give you some feedback, man. I know you're not the most tech savvy, but you can't just have a C here, man. You gotta put a picture there, something. You don't have a banner up. I mean, man, you got to do something up here, man. I gotta get on you a little bit. But yeah, George has a sneaky good pre-war collection. You give him a chance. He like John said, he shows a variety of different things. So check him out. The next channel that we wanted to shout out is the smallest subscriber count channel because he hasn't been on YouTube very long, but it's Mookie Chilson. He's only at 22 subs. I love this. Lo-fi card guy working the count since 1986. I love that. That's awesome. He recently did a VR for my cheap slab contest, but he's been commenting on everybody's stuff. And he did a project where he did a pinhole board. He has a whole bunch of cards that have pinholes in them, but they're great looking cards. And let's support this guy. 22 subscribers. Let's help him out. He's definitely needs more than that with the cards he has and how great of an attitude he has. So go ahead, John.
Oh yeah, he's coming in strong, being commenting now on mine and being a great person in the community straight off. His pinhole board has some iconic cards on it. It's actually pretty cool that he found all of these different really special cards with pinholes. And I thought it was hilarious that his cheap slab card was a PSA 1 because it has a pinhole. So it just fit perfectly. So
that was cool. All right, go ahead, John, with Dave.
All right, Dave, Legends of the Dugout. I know he's been a little sporadic with putting out the videos. Apparently life has gotten in the way of that. But it's lots of fun, especially when he comes on with his live and unprepared sessions where they're just spitballing things. And it's just a group of guys having fun talking baseball cards. But he has also got a lot of great stuff. He's also been a collector for a long time, had gone to nationals back when he was active military, more than a decade ago. I forget when he said his first one was. It was pretty far back relative to most of us, who had to jump back into collecting. So, but he has lots of cool stuff. He gets other like little unique items that aren't even cards as well. If you look at his shelves behind him, there's lots of cool little knick-knack things as well as cards. So Dave is a great guy. But
yeah, he definitely is. I'm actually rooming with him at the National. I'm super excited. We bust his chops a lot. I'm trying to find. There's a video in here where he did a double VR for 2 channels, and I think the total amount of time
was it 42 seconds? Is that what it was?
It was the shortest double VR in history. He's a man of few words on video. I love this. I told him this video here has to be his new. He needs to put that up here and move this to the banner maybe. This video makes him look so tough, but he's honestly he's not as tough as he looks there. He's just a nice guy, and he loves talking baseball with people and cards. It's great. He's a great friend. So check him out, guys. He's only at 114. Next, return to collecting. Darren, he just got on the scene recently. He's got a really, really sneaky, awesome collection. If you go to his popular stuff, he does a lot of PSA returns. Here's part 1 and 2 of his top 100 cards. His top 100 cards are absolutely disgusting. You have to, if you haven't tried him out yet, start with those 2 videos just to see how awesome his cards are. It's great vintage cards. He also has been opening up wax on his channel. He tries to open up wax from his childhood, like 80s and 90s, which is really cool. But Darren's great. He just sent me a care package recently. I still have to make a video about it, but he's a great guy. He was on a Behind the Cards episode, and he's up to 162, which is great. Just keep giving him support. He's, like I said, he's got a little bit of variety on there, which is cool. So go ahead, John.
Yeah, and I am thankful that we don't have to stare at bloody Nolan Ryan during the duration of his videos any longer, because he actually puts himself on camera now. So
yeah, so
kudos to Darren for being brave and putting his face on screen. So, but that whole run of Nolan Ryan's in high grade, that's crazy. I mean. He's got the entire Topps run, and what are there, like the lowest grade is a 9, including the rookie.
I mean, I might be wrong on this, but I think he might have the best base Nolan Ryan collection on YouTube that I know of. I could probably be wrong on that because I don't watch everybody's stuff, but that's it. The best one.
It's pretty tough to match it when most of them are 10s.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, let's move on to Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, Mike Sexton there with Kentucky Cardboard. He has a great vintage collection, as you can see right there with the Hassan triple card there. He goes all the way back in pre-war, lots of post-war as well. And I like how he does these videos where he will group a collection of Hall of Famers across eras that don't seem like there's necessarily a connection, but in the end, when he's telling the story, he makes a connection between all of them. It's kind of cool and creative. So great channel, needs more subscribers.
Yeah, he collects the most like you out of anybody on YouTube right now, in my opinion. He's very much into he wants to get every Hall of Famer, and he doesn't care if it's a rookie card. So it's very similar to how you collect, John, and he can find some very cheap slabs out there, which are great cards. And I love seeing a lot of times he'll show a card, and I'll be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know you could get that for $20. And
they're so cheap.
That's not a plug for my thing. I promise. But like the other thing that's so great about Mike is he loves sending out care packages, and he's done contests. He's very involved, which is very much appreciated. Yeah, check him out. He's at 202 subs right now.
Yeah, he's clearly farther along on his project than I am, though.
Yeah, clearly. So Scott Maz, I'm going to get on Scott too, like Concrete Buddy. Scott, you can't just have an S here, okay? Do something. Do something here, man. But Scott Maz is another sneaky, awesome vintage collection. He's got bazooka boxes of Clemente. He's got a bunch of stuff that you wouldn't even realize unless you watch his videos. I love the fact he's working on the 1956 top set. It's such an iconic set. So you have to check out his progress on that. The other thing is he's a sneaky big Clemente collector. If you've never watched his channel, he loves Clemente and he loves Mickey Mantle. And I know there's a lot of guys out there that love Mickey Mantle, so he should be way above 186. I think it's definitely worth checking him out. He's also a guy who sends out a lot of care packages and things like that. He's very giving. So go ahead, John.
Oh yeah, he is definitely one of the very supportive people, watching lots of other people's stuff and commenting. That is always appreciated when you get the comments from folks. And yeah, his collection seems to be well, at least what we've seen is post-war baseball, but then he also mixes in some of the vintage football as well. He's got some cool stuff there. And you know, lots of good stories when he's showing the cards, talking about them. So great channel, great guy there.
Exactly. All right, go ahead if you want to talk about Dom.
All right, Dom, one of almost like the junior in terms of age, like Mangini equivalent in terms of just knowing everything about all these different issues. It's crazy how much he knows, and he's less than half of my age at least. And has lots of great stuff. His knowledge is amazing. That's the most incredible thing to me. And he's got that great podcast now for folks that keep up with the current MLB scene. So lots of great stuff coming out of Dom. Well, yeah, he did a really funny Mangini VR there. That was
hilarious.
Picked as one of the winners. So
yeah, that was great. Yeah, Dom's in my fantasy baseball league. I can call him a very close friend now. We text all the time. Me and him, if you see, these are his older videos, his newer videos, he's been up in his thumbnail game, and me and him kind of go back on funny thumbnails. This one was about Collector's Dream World. It was about a care package. It's just he comes up with great thumbnails. It's hilarious to see what he comes up with. Look at this one of Rick riding a bicycle. But outside of that, guys, Dom has an amazing collection. He's somebody I go to about getting advice for oddball cards. He loves every card, whether it's base or not. He's also collecting the 1965 top set. So yeah, check out his channel, check out his podcast. He's at 232 right now, but his collection's great and his content's amazing. So the next one is Vintage on Vintage, Steve. So Steve, I gotta call you out, man. These pictures up here, I've never seen them on your channel, these cards. So I think this is false advertising up here, Steve. You better change that or show these cards. I want to see them. No, I'm just messing. Steve was on a Behind the Cards episode. He just made a video response for me recently. He's really cool. If you haven't checked out his channel, maybe start with his most popular videos or his SGC reveal videos. Maybe start with some of those. He loves SGC like me and John do. But he's somebody who's always leaving comments and checking out videos. He loves vintage cards. We're hoping to see him in Chicago for the National. But go ahead, John.
Oh yeah, Steve is great. He not just baseball, as you saw with the tall boy, and now you're seeing the Jim Brown. So he covers the three biggest American sports, at least, there with his vintage collection. Lots of awesome stuff. Also very knowledgeable, tells great stories in his videos. So Steve is a great guy.
Yeah, definitely. All right. You want to talk about Stuke?
Oh yeah, Scott. Stuke's Baseball Cards and Curiosities has really cool stuff. He has so many of those awesome exhibit cards. I don't think I've seen anybody show as many as him yet to this point. So, a lot of people don't collect the oversized items, but those are just beautiful photography on those things. And he has got a great collection of those, and also a very knowledgeable, long time collector. So, I think we've only tapped the surface of what he's got to show so far. So I am excited to see more of what he reveals of what he's been collecting over all these years. So
Yeah, he's been getting a lot closer with a lot of us in the give it. You know, we exchange some texts now and stuff with some of the people in our group, and he's so knowledgeable. And those are the type of guys I love having around because he's going to pass that information on to us, so we can keep passing it on. And he's very savvy on oddball stuff. He knows a lot of it, and he knows what it should go for. And he's a great resource for us. And I love how involved he's been getting. His videos, he has a variety of. Yesterday, he just posted a video at the card show in Dallas. He has a variety of just different videos, and he's a great storyteller. He's always willing to tell a story, so I love his channel. I would definitely check him out. He should be over 180. 185 is so low for him. And then
absolutely.
last but not least, there's this channel called 3D80 Kid. He needs to change it to kids, I believe, because it's confusing to people. And this guy here, he's really riding people's coattails in the community right now. No, I got it. Hey, the reason why I wanted to have this on my channel with John is to give John a special shout out in person, and to give, if somebody hasn't watched John's channel, now you get to see John in my video, and I hope you go and give him a sub. Me and John have been working on a live stream that's called Goonies in the Outfield, and basically we've been doing live streams every other weekend pretty much, and we kind of go back and forth between my channel and his, and we've been just enjoying meeting all the card community and coming up with topics. Like yesterday we did a pre-war showcase with Mangini, Sean, and George, which was a really fun time. But yeah, check out John's channel. Give him a sub. He's also great at singing. He's probably
yeah. Just like you're great at rapping.
Now I'm lying. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. All right, but check him out.
Yeah, I'm definitely as good a singer as you are a rapper. So
thanks, man. All right, let me see if I can stop sharing. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, so to end here, what we want to do is Joe, who we called out for Soft Corners, he has one right now. He has a VR right now going on that he wants us to show. He wants us to show celebration cards, and so I'll let you go first, John. I've been talking enough here. Go ahead.
All right. So my only vintage card I would deem a celebration, because I'm not really into collecting the league leaders, and I don't have any vintage World Series cards, but I would call this one a celebration. And it was kind of a preemptive celebration, since he had 713 home runs when this card was made.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually, the little cartoon on the back says Hank becomes baseball's all-time homer king in 1974, like it's going to happen, because he had 713 going into the season. So that one is interesting that they were bold enough to put that out there.
Nice.
But so I actually went back to my first complete set I ever purchased, which is 1984 Fleer. And I found this card of Steve Carlton, which is joining the 300 club and the strikeout record. Because a lot of people probably might not be aware that he actually passed Walter Johnson first before Nolan Ryan ended up sailing way past him.
Oh, wow.
So, because right there on the back, it says he fanned 275 strikeouts in the process of setting the major league record for career strikeouts with 3709 at the end of the 83 season, which Walter Johnson was like 3576 is the number that pops in my head. I don't know if that's exactly right, but it was something in that neighborhood. I know I have all these random numbers in my head still, but and then it did have some World Series cards, because it felt like whoever whoever worked on Fleer in the 80s, they were definitely hearkening back to like the style of vintage tops of the 60s and 70s with some of the special cards they added. So while Tops wasn't really doing them in the 80s, Fleer actually then brought back having World Series cards. So this one is the two managers from the World Series in '83 with the Orioles and the Phillies. That season, the Phillies were kind of like the almost retired Big Red Machine on that team. I mean, if you had their roster and you move back 10 years, they would have dominated. But the Orioles took them down 4-1 because the Phillies had a very old Pete Rose, Joe Morgan, Tony Perez, and then Steve Carlton was near the end of his career there. They had Tug McGraw in the bullpen, and he was almost done. That they had a list of stars that looked on paper like, oh wow, these guys should be a juggernaut, but they were all freaking old as far as baseball players. So yeah, they got steamrolled by the Orioles, and this guy was actually the MVP of the series, which was kind of surprising because Rick Dempsey was a guy that was a good defense, good game caller type catcher, and it even says on the back he had a career marked batting average of 240. But in that World Series, he had 385, and he was actually the number 9 hitter in their DH lineup at number 8 when they had to use the pitcher in Philly. But he won the MVP being the last hitter in the lineup of that series.
Wow.
And then they also threw in a couple more cards. They have Mike Boddicker talking about the rookie winner, but he was 26 years old as a rookie. So he did not actually have that much of a career beyond his great rookie season. And then the last one, the clinching pitcher of that series was Scott McGregor. He was a pretty good starting pitcher in his prime, and pitched a 5-0 shutout in the clinching game of that series. So, the big stars on that team, being those famous players, I was actually rooting for the Phillies in the series. So I wasn't happy at the time, but I definitely understand now why they lost. So
that's some good history there. Thanks for sharing those. I actually only brought 2 cards for this because they're the 2 cards that really matter in baseball history. So when I behind me on my shelf is this Mazeroski and in this picture, and let me go to solo mode here so everybody could see this glorious card. So this was from my dad's collection that I kept. Mazeroski home run wins it. And talk about the greatest celebration in World Series history. 1960s Buccos winning the World Series. I mean, you can't beat that. Also beating the Yankees. So I love this card. That's why I got it slabbed. I knew it wasn't going to get a high grade, but it's just a part of history. I usually have that behind me. And then they actually had one last card, which says the winners celebrate. Same thing, same set, but it's the card after, and that's just a really cool image there of them celebrating in the locker room after they beat the Yankees. So,
and that was considered such a crazy upset. I mean,
yeah,
they got outscored so badly in the 3 losses, and then the 4 victories for Pittsburgh were all nail biters. So
yeah. So what a Cinderella story, but yeah, check out Joe's channel. Do a VR for him for celebrations. He just did 100 videos. So congratulations, Joe, on 100 videos. And we're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you, John, for coming out and doing a double VR with me.
Well, thanks for inviting me. Thanks for the shout out and, propping up my channel as you are. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, somebody's got to hold it up for you. No, John, you do a great job on your own, man. But thank you for coming on, and I'll see everybody on the next one.
All right. Thanks, guys.